Thank you very much, Prime Minister Mitchell, Madam Deputy Secretary General, distinguished heads of state and government, and thanks to Director Steiner and Regional Director Veit, and to the UNDP, Ambassador LaRock of CARICOM, and all the supporters of the Caribbean community who are here. Prime Minister Mitchell did not overstate the case when he said, I have at least tried to be a longtime friend of the Caribbean. We've been having some of these conversations for more than 25 years now, which may disqualify me from being here today. But I won't waste a lot of time saying what's obvious. I first thank all the people who've been working on plans. I thank for the United Nations and all of its entities for recognizing that it would be best if we could have a regional approach, even though the facts are different and the funding mechanisms have to be different. I was in Puerto Rico yesterday trying to navigate the mind-numbingly complicated issues there. But I think if you look at just since I've been involved with the United Nations in handling disasters, which goes back to the tsunami in 2005 and later in Haiti, we've learned quite a bit which could be tested out here much more quickly. We now have sustainable development goals that call upon us to conquer every demon on earth. We've got an agreement in Paris that even most of us in America believe in and believe we'll wind up doing our fair share. We know island nations all over the world are most imperiled by climate change. We saw what happened after the tsunami in the tiny country of the Maldives, where they lost 2/3 of their GDP in a matter of minutes, and then they had to consolidate and build higher and dig deeper. It's not like we don't know how to do this. So I have a simple plea. Those of us without official standing, many of us, are prepared to spend years of effort doing whatever we can to help, not just to restore, but in the Deputy Secretary General's word, to build back better. But this is the best opportunity, I believe, that the United Nations has ever had and probably will ever have in the near future, to test everything we all say we believe. Not only about solving the problems we face, but seizing the opportunities we have. Not only about overcoming the burdens that have been left in the wake of all the ruin of these horrible hurricanes, but seizing the opportunity of a place where the sun shines 300 days a year, the wind blows, and there are lots of other opportunities. So I would just like to plead with you to take the leadership and give all the money you can, but also to do as much regional planning as you can and support for individual leaders who are taking unusual initiative. Because of the work my foundation was already doing down there before all the hurricanes, I've had an unusual opportunity to get to know and work with Prime Minister Skerritt of Dominica. And Dominica got the living daylights kicked out of it. It wasn't quite Barbuda, sir, where he was suggesting laughingly at lunch we may have to have the equivalent of the Oklahoma land rush. Just let us all go down there and help him rebuild the country one back at a time. We have to laugh instead of cry. But I'm just saying, you look at what has been done. If this disaster had happened 10 years ago, there would not have been anybody in the Caribbean who would have said, here, help us build back, and we will show the world how we can grow the economy and drastically reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. Here, let us show you how to build sustainable housing. Let us show you how we can do it without giving up the uniqueness of our architecture or the richness of our culture. Everybody in the world, you will never have, if every one of you has been just like me. We've gone to dinner after dinner after dinner. We've gone to meeting after meeting after meeting, year after year after year. And we've all said the wisest conceivable things, haven't we? We've competed with how much we know about climate change. We've competed with how much we know about sustainable development. I love the unbelievable variations in new building technologies that will enable us to avoid all. We all do this. Now, finally, here it is, a disaster has given us a chance to literally have the world's only laboratory that is both diverse but confined in population, confined in geographic reach, and confined in cost, where we can test everything we all say we believe and see if we're right enough. And if we aren't right on everything, you will have the moral solace of knowing you didn't let Barbuda vanish from the face of the earth. You will have the political confidence to know you didn't let a man in a small place like Dominica, who thought big and long-term in the future, go begging for want of $1 or $2. And I could go on and on. You are never going to get a chance, the donor community, ever, to do so much good so quickly with so little money. Correcting problems of the past and building a different future. So I threw all my notes away. I'm pleading with you. I've been doing this for decades. Once in a blue moon, you get a choice and a chance. And you also are, in my opinion, lucky to have a UN leadership team who really understands all this. I mean, in a granular way, and I thank you. Don't let this go. Give what you're going to give today, and then when you leave, go back and figure out what you would like and need from these countries to give more. What you would like and need to make commitments that last 3 years or 5 years or 6 years or however the heck long it takes. You are never going to get another chance, at least in my lifetime. Some of you are young enough to you can't know what you're going to get. But you've got a real chance. And because you have that chance, you have an obligation. So I plead with thank you for what you're going to give anyway today. Think about what you need to make commitments over a longer period of time. Tell them. But don't give up the world's best chance. It's not just for the Caribbean. To test everything you believe about sustainability, climate change, poverty alleviation, improved health, every single solitary thing. You've got a laboratory that could become the jewel of the world. The first stop on the Sustainability Triumph Tour, and you could do it within 5 to 10 years. Please, don't pass it up, and they won't waste it for you. Thank you very much.